So, want to get a little bit personal if I can. Most fans know you're in a relationship with Dashing Chris Bay. When did you meet Chris? How did that all kind of blossom and come together? If you don't mind us asking.
I actually met him for the first time in 2023, and it was my first time in Vegas. Like I said, I was starting to get out more. It was my first time ever in Vegas, and it was at a convention Level Up Expo.
Okay.
We met, and I had just known him from the internet, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's like a no Impact superstar." He watched my match, which was bad match, and he was just like giving me like critiques or whatever, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, dude, this guy's on TV, he knows what he's talking about, like, but little did I know, like, he really knows what he's talking about. Like, he has such a great brain for wrestling. um and we kind of just like kind of talked, like it wasn't like we were talking. But yeah, just like over time, like we just started to talk, and then eventually we ended up starting dating. And it's really funny because my thought process was like, all right, I don't want anyone to know we're dating, because I don't want anyone to think any of the opportunities I'm getting are because of who I'm dating, because I really feel like that is a perception thing. Like, I would never think that, but fans and people are just really, really judgmental. And I just never wanted to be like, oh, because I was, like I said, I was starting to break out. I was starting to wrestle. I was starting to get on these bigger indies. And I was just like, yeah, everyone's just going to think it's because of who I'm dating. And truly, I hated the feeling of that. So I was like, you know what? Let's just not tell anybody we're dating. Like, let's just keep it on the low key. And if they find out, they find out. And then I accidentally, like, truly, some people think I'm lying when I say this. I was at work one day, and this was in 2024 in December. It was Christmas Eve, actually. And at the time, I was
Mm.
working at Target, and we were terribly busy. Like, I had to drive up where you take the packages out to people's cars, and it was Christmas Eve, and we had 2,000 orders for the day, which was like way more than normal. And we had to, like, everyone was going to pick up all their stuff because it was the last day. We were like ridiculously busy. Like, it was terrible. And we had lost an order. I had to go to the floor to go get the new items because we lost the bag. And I like took a picture of like the screen or whatever, and I just slid my phone in my back pocket. I didn't realize it was still running. And apparently, somehow, genuinely, I swear on like everybody's life, everybody in the world's life, I did not mean to do this. But somehow, my phone not only opened up Instagram, it went to post and it selected a ton of videos from my camera roll, put a song on it, and created a reel in which was videos of like me and Chris hanging out, and then there was like a video of like CM Punk doing this move from the Indies that I really wanted to try, that I screen recorded, and then there's like a motivational video that I saved in my phone to like repost somewhere. So it just selected random stuff from my camera roll, and I swear on my life, on everybody's life, I did not mean to post this. Some people think I planted it, but I did not mean to do it, and I leaked us, and
So
it
you
was really funny. He was on a plane flying to Virginia, and he was like, yeah, someone texted me congratulations. And he was like, did you mean to post this? And when I tell you I went to break and I saw that this video had been up for an hour, my heart sank. I was like, I did not just leak my relationship to the internet. That's actually crazy. I freaked out. Like, I deleted it as soon as I could, but the damage was already done. It already had thousands of views. I was like, I cannot believe that I just did this.
so see
Like,
people, Shannon
so
Sharp wasn't lying. You can accidentally do that.
you can, and I think the reason why it put it together and it put transitions is when Reels was first starting on Instagram. So they were suggesting audios. You know how sometimes you like go and it'll just automatically put a song, and I don't want that song. It put transitions. I was like, you have got me messed up.
Can you imagine if
It
it put a
shared it to
Britney
my
Spears song on
story.
top of it?
I was like, I don't even know what song was on it. It shared it to my story. It put another picture. I was like, dude, I'm hacked. First thought, I was like, oh my God, I'm hacked. Somebody has access to my pictures. I don't know how this happened. Bro, when I tell you, I was a mess for so long. I literally cried at work. I was like, oh
Oh my
my God, I'm
god.
so stupid. But like, it was the most difficult thing ever. But like, now I'm like, I don't really care. Like, if you fucking think that I am getting these opportunities because of who I'm with, then that's great for you. But I feel like I have put in the work. It's just like, it was me just feeling like I had to, you know what I mean? I feeling like I had to like hide. And So yeah, but we're way
Okay.
better now. And I always think if that didn't happen, so that was the end of no, it was actually the end of 2023. He got injured in 2024. If, like the internet, if nobody knew that I was with him, I would have never been called. I would have never been told that he was injured. Nobody would have ever kept me updated. Like, I just think that, and I'm like, okay, everything happens for a reason. Like, I would have like that's crazy. I would have never known that he was injured, and nobody would have thought to call me to bring me into the hospital. Like, thank God things happened the way they did. So yeah.
And I'm glad that you touched on the injury because that's kind of part of why I asked the setup question because you had just talked about coming back from your own ACL injury in 2023 and getting these major opportunities. And then Chris suffers this devastating injury. Was there ever a thought like, I have to put my career on hold again to take care of him? Am I ever going to get this momentum back, or were you able to kind of work through the whole thing?
So I actually forgot part of the story because I did tear my first ACL in 2022, but then I tore my other one in 24. So when his injury happened, I was only 2 months post surgery of my other ACL. So
Mm.
I mean, my career was on hold already. Um, it was definitely very difficult. Like the injury happened in October. I had this freak idea of trying to come back in December, only 4 months post surgery. I was trying to be on my John Cena shit. Like, I really wanted to come back at a
Oh my
Rumble,
God.
number 30, 4 months post surgery, which is insane when you think about it. And I was not ready to come back, but I did still do it. And I'm proud of myself for just doing it. But it was very difficult because I'm trying to relearn how to walk. And then this happens and I have to like cancel all my PT, which obviously it's a no brainer. Like, in no reality am I not gonna get there. Like I
Right.
remember the day that it happened, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna look up all the flights. I don't care if I have to pay $1,000, but I'm gonna get to Detroit to see him. Because I mean, he'd never gone injured before. Like, and it was such a traumatic, crazy situation. And there's a lot of things that I didn't know about the injury too. And I just wanted to be there to like be there for him, and really just know what was going on because nobody's really telling me what was going on. So yeah, I had to cancel a lot of my PT appointments and I had to move stuff around, but it was truly a no-brainer. I came back at that show in December. He was still in the hospital at the time in Detroit. And I came back, did that show, and I was like, I can't take bookings yet. Like I need to chill. Like I need to make sure I can walk better in order to take more bookings. But yeah, I really didn't start wrestling consistently until like February of 2025. And in that time, we came home from the hospital. I helped take care of him. He was in a wheelchair, so like it was a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I moved to Vegas in order to help him take care. But honestly, I've wanted to live with him, since we started dating. So it was really a no-brainer. And I was just honestly, I was more so worried because I was moving out of my parents' house, and it's like a lot. We were talking about money and expenses, like it's a lot to live out in this world. And I like was really nervous about that. But we're making it work and we're making it happen. And like truly it's the best thing ever getting to live with him. And just because long distance is hard. We were only 4 hours away from each other, but long distance is hard. And anyone who
Definitely.
does long distance, I really applaud you because it's a lot of work.
Definitely. I'm about an hour and a half away from mine right now. So it's not as long distance. We're still same state, but can only really see each other like once a month, because of
Right.
scheduling and everything. So just to follow up and kind of put a bow on the Chris thing, how emotional did you get when he was able to take those first steps again? And then to come out on that stage at the clusterfuck last year to bring out Brody Lee Jr.,
Oh,
and actually
yeah.
get to come back to wrestling in some kind of fashion. Granted, not in the ring yet, may or may not ever get back in the ring, but for a man to be told he's never going to walk again, to be able to walk out on that stage in front of 2,000, 2,500, whatever it was at the Palms that night, introduce Brody Lee Jr. for his very first professional match and kind of like be there as his manager, valet type of thing. Like, how emotional was that for you after seeing him go through all that?
It was really, really special, especially like the first steps. Like I was the one filming the video that he posted on his birthday. And like it was special, but also in my head, I was like, this is gonna happen. Like I know like I know when people tell you that you're not gonna do something, you work extra hard to prove them wrong. And I just
100%.
knew, like, honestly, there was never a reality. Like it did cross my brain, like, okay, like, is he gonna be in a wheelchair forever? Like, will he, will this be our reality now? Which like I'm fine with. I'm not going anywhere. The fact that anyone ever like ever would leave someone because of something like that just boggles my mind. And the fact that so many people will be like, oh my god, like, he really, like, I couldn't imagine, like, I'm so glad that you stayed. I'm like, I would never freaking leave, like, but yeah, it was really, really special. And just like I knew he could do it, like there
Yeah.
really wasn't a doubt in my mind. And I just saw the progress every single day, like from a wheelchair, not being able to move his legs, to be able to walk with a walker, and then crutches, and then one crutch. And it just like slowly started easing. Like, I was helping him. I was pulling the walker away. He would walk to the walker. We'd pull it again. Like, there's so many things that like the world hasn't seen that,
Yeah.
he went through. And it's just so incredible. And the clusterfuck was really special, but I want to actually take it back to March of that year. He did the benefit for Bay, and that was his first time
That's
coming
right.
back to wrestling.
That's right. I
And
forgot about that. We actually covered that too. We do
I
watch
cried like
alongs
a
yeah,
and
baby.
stuff
I
there.
cried like a baby. I can't imagine what you went through.
yeah.
Because me as a fan, the moment that video package came out on him, like ask him, tears was just, and I'm the jokey pun, the fun commentator. Like we got Noah, who's like always in the suit. He's the serious guy. Like I'm the jokey. Like it tries to break him. Now that moment when that came on, I cried. So I can't imagine what you physically being there and being involved with him had to do with it.
Yeah.
Had to
I,
go
I
through on
cried
it.
when I saw that video on his
Yeah,
birthday.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, go
And
ahead and talk about the benefit because I did
Mm,
completely forget about
mm-hmm.
that. I was right there in the middle of it all.
I was gonna bring it up, but
yeah.
I'm glad she did. Yeah.
So I didn't, like, he was just like, do you want to come out on stage with me? I'm like, are you sure? Like, I don't know. Like, are you sure you want me to like share such a special moment with you? And he's like, well, you've been with me through all this. And I was just like, oh, it was so special. Like,
I'm about to
when I
cry
tell
now.
you, when I tell you that card was so stacked, I was like, am I even gonna be on it? Like the names that are on it, I don't know if I'm like this caliber to be on this
Right?
show right now. And it was just so insanely stacked. And the talent that we had alone in our match, I mean, like Jada Stone, who's signed to TNA now, Maserati, who's been killing it. Who else was in there? Brooke Havoc, who is like one of my favorite people ever. And it was just like everybody was that was on the show meant so much to Chris. And everyone that was involved, everybody came and worked for free. Everybody don't like, a lot of people donated their merch money, and it was
Hmm.
literally the first show ever to have active wrestlers from WWE, TNA, and AEW all on one independent show. Everybody had to get it cleared. And just, I was so honored that like everyone approved of everybody coming there.
Mhm.
Cause, like, especially Karrion Cross being signed to WWE at the time, they could have easily been like, no, like, you're not allowed to do indies. Because at the time, no one was really doing indies. Like, I
Yeah.
think that was like kind of what started. And then the ball got rolling for like everyone to start doing blood sport and stuff like that, but nobody was doing indies at the time. And it was such a beautiful, beautiful day. Like, and it was just so special to have everybody come. Like, we got to pick up a lot of people from the airport. And I just remember, running around, both of us running around like chickens with our head cut off all day to make everything. And like, Chris, too, had such a big hand in producing the show. I think he's like an insanely talented wrestling brain. And he's like, well, if I'm putting my name on this, like, this needs to be an amazing show. And I was like, the fact that you trust me enough to be wrestling on your show, like, meant a lot to me. Like, I know it's like, oh, you're his girlfriend. Of course you're going to be on the show. But like, genuinely, I was like, I don't know if I'm like good enough to be on this show. Like, so no, but everyone was so incredible. And it was just I've never had, and I know the reaction wasn't for me, it was for him, but I've never heard such a loud reaction to when he walked out. Like, I just remember my ears, like I couldn't even hear, it was so loud.
Yeah.
Like, and it was so special. Like the fact that he got to do that and I got to be a part of that moment with him, and just everyone was so incredible.
That was a mega pop. Yeah, he. We got
Road
to meet
Warrior
him.
Pop.
Yeah, we got to meet him. I think it was before the clusterfuck. He was standing there, and the same way I approached you, I was like, "May I approach you?" He was like, "Come on," because everybody was like bothering him, taking pictures, and I didn't want to be that guy. I was trying to get an interview, so I approached him, gave him the business card, And like I stopped talking, I was gonna leave him alone. And he just kept talking like he knew us. Like for like 15 minutes, he just kept talking. Like everybody's bothering him, and I felt like he just thought we were cool because we weren't trying to bother him for the autograph. But that is my biggest regret. I didn't ask him for a picture. I didn't ask him for the order. I didn't want to be that guy because I wanted to do for the podcast, and then for him to like, I guess we stuck on his